With smartphone manufacturers leaving out headphone jacks, wireless earphones are getting quite the popularity these days. And when it comes to that, there are quite a few big players in the market, one of which is the Apple AirPods 2, the most popular and also the most expensive. But Apple AirPods 2 also brought out Samsung to the wireless earphones game, and with their Galaxy Buds, they go head to head against the AirPods 2. But these two are fairly expensive, with the AirPods 2 costing about $160 without the wireless charging case and the Galaxy Buds costing about $130 with their wireless charging case. And so I thought, why not compare these two with a budget wireless earphone so that you can find out if you really need to pay that much money to get a good wireless earphone. And so I threw in these Redmi AirDots, which cost about $30 in China. Now I know it's unfair to compare this with these two, but then again, if it can hold its own against these two, then well, the answer will be clear. So let the battle commence. Let's start with the design and build quality of these. The AirPods 2 take the cake right away with the case. It's the smallest of the three, not chunky, and still has a heft to it. There's a lightning port underneath and a button at the back for pairing it to new devices. It looks cleaner too. On the other hand, the Galaxy Buds and the Redmi AirDots look about the same, except that the AirDots feel a lot lighter but looks bulkier. Galaxy Buds case looks more elegant, but the AirPods case is the classiest of them all. However, the Galaxy Buds case has the advantage here because it features wireless charging, for which the Apple AirPods 2 will cost you about $70 more. But of course, we're looking at what's inside, and well, all three of them have their earphones snugly fit inside. Take them all out and I'll take the Galaxy Buds' modern contour looks to the other two's any day. The AirPods' old design is not appealing when compared to the other two, and in your ears, they sort of look like earrings, which I don't like. And all of these snugly fit in your ears, but with the AirPods not having those earbud rubber silicone gels, you cannot keep them on for very long in your ears. The Galaxy Buds also have an IPX2 water resistance. This doesn't exactly mean all the way waterproof, but will resist sweat and light drizzles. None of the other two have that, and while I can't expect it from the cheap Redmi AirDots, Apple, come on, these were supposed to be second generation AirPods. For connectivity, all three have Bluetooth 5.0, and connection procedure is pretty similar. You have to pair these to your device first, and once it's done, every time you open the case, they connect automatically to your phone. However, for the AirPods, if you want to pair to some other device, you have to press this button on the case. As for others, you do it the regular old way, simply connect to the other device from the Bluetooth menu on your phone. And all of them connect to your phone pretty fast, and since it happens in a matter of seconds, I didn't make note of time because that makes it pointless, doesn't it? When it comes to controls, you kind of need an Apple device for the AirPods. The AirPods allow you to double tap to play and pause your tracks by default. With an Apple device, you can also modify the controls for the gesture, which is not possible on Android. Plus, it also supports hands-free Hey Siri on them, but not on Android. As for the Redmi AirDots, they have limited controls too. There are tactile buttons on both sides, but both of them do the same thing. One tap to play and pause music, while a double tap wakes up your digital assistant, Google Assistant on your phone, and even Cortana on your Windows laptop. However, the Galaxy Buds offer much more flexibility. With a single tap, you can play or pause audio tracks. Double tap to go to the next song and triple tap to go to previous. And if that wasn't enough, you can tap and hold the right bud to increase the volume while doing the same thing with the left lowers the volume. And of course, the Galaxy app lets you customize the controls too. Now let's go to the audio quality, and before I describe all these three in detail, I like to put it out there front, the AirPods wins hands down. Actually, there is no contest among the three. The AirPods sound the best in all kinds of music, be it pop, bass, or anything instrumental, or just anything in general. Sound is loud, everything is crisp and clear, and the vocals are easily understandable. There's also the right amount of bass, and it handles highs, lows, and mids perfectly. These are also the ones that can go the loudest, and there are no distortions even in the loudest of volumes. However, the only limitation it has is the lack of noise cancellation of any kind, passive or active, so listening to it in outdoor environments is not very ideal. The Galaxy Buds, which we already reviewed, is as it is, bittersweet. I mean, it does a good job, but it falls behind the AirPods by a lot. It has good sound, it has crisp audio, the vocals are clear, it handles mids, highs, instrumentals pretty well, but then again, there's not enough bass, and sometimes the volume is not loud enough. Sure, the Galaxy Wearable app does help in this regard, where you can choose 5 audio profiles: bass, soft, dynamic, clear, and treble, so you can adjust your audio requirements clearly. Also, it offers passive noise cancellation with its earbud gels, but there's also something called the ambient sound in the Galaxy Wearable app. With that, you can turn the active noise cancellation on or off, and sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference, but it helps a bit. As for the Redmi AirDots, well, I actually feel bad about comparing it with these expensive ones because these sound nowhere near as good as the other two. While it does deliver good enough sound for budget earphones, it does crisp and clear audio, maintains the highs, lows, and even the trebles, but it fails at anything with bass, and also very instrumental sounds are not clear. Plus, it's not as loud as you would like, and there's also distortion in very high volumes. And also sometimes you can make something like a radio static while listening to music. It's not always, but it's there. But then again, for a budget headphones, these are a pretty decent pair. As for call quality, the AirPods again sound the best, but in all fairness, none of them are that good. Okay, battery life. The AirPods gives about 5 hours of music playback, and its charging case can give you 3 hours of backup in 15 minutes. It's the same with the wireless charging case as well. The Galaxy Buds claim 7 hours, but provide slightly less than 6 hours of backup. Also, the case packs enough charge to charge your buds up only once, and 15 minutes in there can only give your buds about 1.5 hours of backup. However, the AirDots only gives you about 3.5 hours of battery, and the carrying case can charge the earbuds 2.5 times over. And 15 minutes inside the case gives you only about an hour or so of backup. Now let's dive into the conclusion. So all that distinguishes these three from one another now is the price. And I'll tell you this right away. The Galaxy Buds for me is a bit expensive for the value it provides, because right now it's a first generation device and it's not quite up to the mark yet, but maybe this will get better in the second iterations. And yes, the AirPods 2 are even more expensive, but the margin by which it wins is just a lot. As for the Redmi AirDots, well, it cannot be compared to these two in any way. But then again, these are for the budget conscious. You get what you pay for. But here's the deal. If you want to use the AirPods 2, you need an iPhone. And the more Apple devices you have, the better. As for the Galaxy Buds, the latest Galaxy flagship smartphones are the best fit, but any other Android phones will do too. And if you don't want to spend a hefty amount on wireless earphones, then the AirDots might do it for you. So that was it for our comparison of the wireless earbuds and the earphones and AirPods. Thank you for watching. Namaste.